This is my Obsidian vault. Hundreds of notes all linked together and all completely searchable in a nice front end. And I didn't even have to write most of them. Claude Code did it all for me. Every time I research a topic, save an idea, or start a new project, Claude reads what's already in there, can build upon it, and connects it to everything else. And the best part, it remembers everything between the different sessions, so even if we close the terminal, come back next week, and start it up, it's going to still have all of that information ready to go. No databases, no APIs, just simple folders and files locally. Most tutorials show you one way to use this. We're going to cover all of them so you walk away with a complete system by the end of the video. So let's jump straight in. So here's the thing that most people overcomplicate. Obsidian is just a folder of markdown files on your computer. That's literally it. It gives you a nice new way to view them, link them together, search through them, but essentially underneath it's just a folder. And all Claude Code is doing is reading these files and writing the files. That's all it does. So when you point Claude Code at an Obsidian vault or include it in a project file, you're not setting up a complex integration. You're just saying, here's a folder, read it, write it, and organize it. And Claude Code can do that incredibly well. Right, so the first thing to do if you don't have Obsidian yet is to come across to the website and grab it completely for free. I'll include all of the links in the description so you can find it nice and easily. They've got a great website that explains how it works, so you can see all the different elements, you can see how it links together, the security, you can even pay for an upgraded version that syncs it across multiple machines, but you don't have to if you don't want to. To get started, just download it for your machine, either Get for Mac OS as I'll be using, or they have it for additional platforms to use as well. You'll see all of them in here, just come through and download it straight away. Once you've got it downloaded, for of course Mac, we're just going to need to bring it across to applications. So now we need to go through and set up that new vault. So we're going to come down and we're going to say create. We're going to give it a vault name. So in this case, I'm going to do YT and then demo. And then we're just going to choose a specific location. And there we go, it's all added into that location. Now I'm going to do create and it's going to set up the vault for us. So exactly as you saw a bit earlier on, this is what we're going to start off with. We're going to have the text files that we can load up here, and we're going to have that graph view on the right hand side of all of the different information that we use. There are some other fields, but to be honest, just stick in here, and of course we're going to give Claude access in a second. But first we're going to come across and take a look at Andrej Karpathy, because he released this long basically X post saying about how he set his up, the new framework that he's developed, and as you can see here, with almost 20 million views, it was incredibly popular. But again, the main point here is it's actually talking about how we can set it up with a really good folder structure, and he's using the extension web clipper with Obsidian, which I'll show you in here as well. So to get it set up in the same way, we're going to come across to the LLM wiki, which again, I'll include linked in the community so you can find it nice and easily. We're going to come down and you can copy all of it this way, or come across to raw, copy all of this, come back across to your Claude Code instance. First of all, we're just going to tell it, hey, I've got a brand new Obsidian folder or vault that we've just set up called YT demo in this folder. Now I need you to go through, understand the instruction from Andrej Karpathy and execute the instructions. So we'll paste that in there. Then we're just going to actually come through and add all of the information we just copied from that document that Andrej provided. So there we go, you've found the folder correctly on the left hand side there. So now it's going to ask us a particular question. So in this use case, we're going to be building out a wiki all to do with AI for business, everything to do with the strategy, information, everything like this to help business owners and leaders make decisions about AI. I've got a folder already added in called 15 AI playbooks for board directors. I need you to go through, and this is all of the information we're going to be storing and building around this specific wiki. So I'll add that in there and send it off. Now what it should do is come up and see all of the different files that I've added in here. So all of these different PDFs, which look awful for us here. But if we come across to the normal file structure, we'll see that actually we've got all of these long PDF reports that we want to include with lots of different information from lots of the largest and leading consultancies out there to help get us the best thought leadership, the best guidance on how we'd actually use AI within a business today. And there we go, it's now come up with a plan. So as we can see here, it's going to go through and create this folder structure, and that's exactly what Andrej has helped us achieve with the wiki, because we've now got a Claude MD that's going to automatically be created and tell Claude every time it loads up Obsidian what's in there and how to navigate around. We've then got the raw folder structure, which is going to store any of the information we add into our Obsidian account. So even if we use the web clipper or images plugin, which I'll show you in a second, it's going to store it all in here. We're then going to have the wiki, which is basically going to have all of the information for the LLM to use and reference. We're going to have the index, so categorizing and cataloging all of the different pages. We're going to have a log of all of the different activity, which is going to be really important for, of course, always getting that latest information. We can also see an overview, basically what it is. We can see some sources, some entities, concepts, and this is how, again, we're going to start building out that folder structure to have all of that relevant information and start seeing all the different graph elements connect together. So we're going to say, yes, this looks good, and please crack on getting it ready to go. So we'll send it off and check in once it's done. Now, whilst that installs, I want to come across to the plugins page, which you can do on the website, or we'll go across to the app in a second. As you can see here, lots and lots of different ones that we can use and install. I mean, they've got thousands that you can go through and really analyze, see if there's any that you want to add. Of course, go through and verify any of the people that have developed it. They are developed by independent third parties. So as you can see here, lots and lots of different ones that we will be able to use. So if we come back across the desktop app, we can already see it's starting to populate information on the right. We can come down to our settings though, and now we're going to be able to come across to community plugins. We're going to be able to turn them on for us to be able to use. We're going to be able to see all the different ones we can install, of course. Make sure that you verify all of these. We're going to go through and do image and then plus. And then what you should see here is local images plus. The reason we want to install this is because it will now enable us to also store any of the different images within documents or web pages that we want to use as well. Without this, you won't be able to do that as it doesn't have the native feature to do it. And then once you've installed it, just make sure to come through and turn it on as well, because it doesn't automatically turn it on by default. The other thing we want to install is the Obsidian web clipper. We can come through and add this, in my case, to Brave, or you can add it to Chrome. Just enables us to go through, and every time we find an important or useful article, we're now able to go through and store this to our local version of Obsidian. So for example, if we come across to this release that came through from PwC, all about decoding ROI for AI, we'll be able to come up to the top, come down to add to Obsidian. You can also drop down as well if you want to save as a file or to the clipboard. We're going to do add to Obsidian. We're going to do open Obsidian, and then we're going to go through and literally just add it straight to that project that we've currently got open. So there we go. That's how easy it is to go through and store information for us to be able to use. And as you can see, if we scroll down, it's also got some of the images and videos that were mentioned in that post as well. And there we go. After a little while, we've managed to get everything back from, of course, our database on the left-hand side. All of these different documents. I know we've only got 15, but imagine we had hundreds or even thousands in there, all with their own unique angle. Don't forget, these are multiple pages long for all of the documents in there. But now they've started to be categorized. We've got 39 wiki pages across the new wiki that we've set up. So if I come across to our index, as we can see here, we've now got it all ready to go. We can also do the time lapse as we saw before to see how it's set up, how it's changing, also putting out key themes. So for example, geopolitics of AI, we've got AI transformation, we've got AI ethics, and much, much more. So it's really interesting to see how all of these reports are tying together. As you can see, they're exploding quite a lot as we start to get more and more points in there. Some key themes around board fluency, we've got AI governance, we've got AI risk, AI strategy. So it's really interesting to see how all of them tie together. And I love using, Obsidian for this, because making it visual always makes it easier to see the outputs. So now if I want to deep dive on AI strategy, I can click on this. It's now going to have all of the different summarizations within it. It's going to have some of the sub-reports, which again, we can also see that we've got the IBM AI study that we've got, the KPMG ones, we've got area of consensus, disagreement, key questions for leaders, so all of this different things. So why is this really good? Well, if we come back across to Claude Code, we can now come down the bottom, we can say, hey, please can you tell me all of the key insights, maybe the point of disagreement regarding AI strategy for businesses at the moment. We'll paste that in there and we'll send it off. Now it's going to go through and actually give us, based on that data that we've shared with it, a response back with some citations, hopefully. So as you can see there, it's referenced our wiki, is now going through the different MD files, so we know it's actually using, of course, our Obsidian database in the background. And there we go, we've got that full response back. So now we can see that we've got the measurability paradox, we can see incremental transformative, centralizing not models. So it looks like it's going through and it's expanding on some of the points that it's mentioned in here. It's done some extra research on some of those reports that it was pulling in earlier as well to produce those insights. And this is the real power of using Obsidian with Claude Code, because imagine we have hundreds of different documents. Now we can go through, analyze against each of them, cite back if we've got data from maybe March, April that we want to bring through, challenge our thinking, and much, much more. Now we can have that information retention across multiple different Claude sessions versus losing it after one session or having to resume a previous conversation. And because of course all that data is persistent, it stays there forever. As we can see here, we could start up a new instance. We can now go through, hey, please can you tell me the latest to do with AI governance, any points of agreement, any points of contention within our master data. Now we can send that off, and of course it will be able to go straight back to that wiki, pull out all the different points and reference it. So as we can see here, we can see any second now, it should find the repository we've got on the left and pull it through. So as you can see there, it's found the YouTube demo Obsidian that we've set up. It's referencing all these wikis and pulling them through. And there we go, after 44 seconds, it's brought back some of the points. So as we can see here, where the sources agree, we've got AI governance. So now if we come back across, come up to the graph, we'll come down to where we've got the AI governance, which should be hiding away in here somewhere. There we go. And if we come down, we can see in that first line there is now a concern for that fiduciary duty. So it's able to reference it and use it as much as we need. So now to take it to the next level, we're going to incorporate Claude skills. And this is a game changer because it helps us get the most out of Obsidian and Claude. So what we're going to do is come down the bottom, we're going to do / and then skill creator. And then we're going to go through and create our own one. So we're going to add this in here, get it set up with Claude, and then I'm just going to explain exactly what we want. So we're going to come through, we're going to say, I want a new command, which is going to be / challenge-obsidian. And every single time I run this, I want you to analyze whatever we're talking about against any of the data that we've got in Obsidian to see if maybe data's changed over time. I've changed my thoughts. It aligns to a North Star mission that we've given for a specific outcome for that business, YouTube, social media, whatever it may be, to make sure that it's meeting actually what we want for that end result. So can we get that set up, please? So now we'll send this off. What this is going to enable us to do is basically have a command that we've got built in. So every time we want to double check all of the information we've got in our Obsidian database, if we want to think of it that way, we're now able to run this one command, verify, check, or analyze any of the things that we're talking about against that database. And then we can see, yep, we've got it all set up, or no, we don't. So that way we can always keep our database up to date, add any information, change any information, but always make sure that we're on track with the outputs we're trying to get. We're just going to give it a quick North Star. So we're going to say the main objective is to make sure that we're giving the best AI advice for businesses on how to set up their strategy, their governance, using the reports that of course boards will have access to. So we'll send that off. Whilst that runs through, we're just going to come through and set up another one. And this one instead is going to be all about saving to Obsidian. So just to make sure that we have it set up correctly, we're going to say, you're going to be working with Obsidian. I need the new / command to be save-obsidian. Every time we run this, you need to save that information, that context, whatever it may be, into Obsidian in the best way possible for us to use it in the future. And we'll send that off. So now we've got the two set up, which will be one to challenge our thinking and one to make sure that we're saving any of the notes that we need nice and easily. And there we go, we just got both back. So now that we've got the Claude skill for saving anything to Obsidian, and we've got the other one that's set up, as you can see here, that's now going to go through and challenge our ideas, whatever it may be, based on the data that currently sits within Obsidian. So as you can see there, both incredibly useful skills that we can use every single day that enables us to get the best out of course Claude Code and out the best of Obsidian. So that's the complete picture, the wiki pattern for research that compounds, persistent memory so Claude never forgets, and skills to automate the entire thing. And all of it is just files in a folder. You own it, it's on your computer, it's free, and is more valuable every day you use it. If you want to get more out of Claude Code and many other AI tools in your business or learn how to use them and sell them into businesses, make sure to click the link down below and come across to our communities. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one and have a great week.